Episode number 1, Jackson's Paranormal Encounter. Hey everyone, welcome into N.American Cryptids and Paranormal. I'm your host Bobby, and on today's episode we have Jackson. Jackson had a paranormal encounter that he's going to tell us about, so I'd like to introduce Jackson and let him get into his encounter. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to be here.
Yes, sir. So you had a paranormal encounter at one of your old jobs. If you want to, tell us what happened.
Yeah, sure. So I was raised in a little mountain town called Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with it. It's a pretty popular tourist destination. Um, but in I think it was the summer of about 2018, and downtown Gatlinburg, there's a little shopping center called the Village. A lot of frequent Gatlinburg people know that. It's kind of a staple. Everything's made of brick. The whole shopping center is kind of styled after like old Germany. The floor is bricks. The buildings are made of bricks. It's real pretty. Um, but in there, nestled away on a corner, there's a shop, an L-shaped shop called Life is Good. It's L-shaped because it used to be two different shops, but they knocked a wall down in the middle and it like put a doorway in it, so they just connected it and turned it into one. Um, so I'm on one side of the L and my coworker's on the other side of the L. And on my side, I have a desk and a computer where I ring people up. And the same thing on the other side. And like, I'm right here, she's right here, and we can see each other through the doorway. Like, I can always see her behind her desk and she can always see me. Now to my right, I have two changing rooms and a very heavy stock room door. Now it's a Dutch door, so for anybody that doesn't know it, Dutch doors, they swing independently. The bottom and the top swing independently, and we had it
Yeah.
latched in the middle so they would swing in unison. And we kept a really heavy cowbell on that stockroom door because customers would mistake it for the changing room a lot of times, so we would have to redirect them. Um, I think it's about 11 a.m. It's a beautiful morning. And I've got a few people on my side. I think about two or three people. They're looking around and shopping. And a couple on the other side. And I'm behind my desk. And I hear that cowbell go off. And I hear that creak of that stockroom door start to come up. So I immediately look to my right. And I see a woman. I see a woman with long dark hair and shoulders. She's walking into the stockroom door. Um, pretty, I mean, she's walking in slowly. All things considered, looking back on it pretty ominously. Um, but I immediately look over through the doorway to my coworker because my coworker also has long dark hair, but she's behind her desk. She's behind her desk, so I know it's not her. So I immediately start to talk to this woman because I don't recognize her. I don't see her face. I just see her hair. But
Yeah.
I tell her, ma'am, you can't go in there. And she doesn't pay attention to me. So I say it again, ma'am, you can't go in there. Um, so at this point, she's well into the door. I mean, she's just walking in, straight in, and she starts to close it behind her. I still don't see her face or anything. Um, and the stockroom door is only about, man, I think 12 feet away from me. To my right, maybe 12 or 15, give or take. So as the door starts to close, I immediately start to leave my desk and walk towards her. And my eyes are locked on her the whole time. And I watch her as the door closes and she disappears behind the door. Like I watch her the whole time. And by the time I get to the door, it slams shut. So I immediately open the door. I look in and nobody's there. I mean, nobody's there. It was so freaky. And the thing about our stockroom is that it was really, really small. I think right when you walk in the stockroom, you have maybe like 5 feet in front of you, and then it's like 10 or 12 feet on either side. And like off to the left, there's a little like employee bathroom, just tiny little closet space basically. So there's nowhere for her to hide. I mean, there's none. Um, I looked. I think like as soon as I opened the door, I realized that I'm either witnessing something really inexplicable here, or I am out of my mind. So
Yeah.
with those two choices in mind, I start looking around immediately because I need answers. I looked around every nook and cranny of that stockroom. I didn't find anybody at all. It was really bizarre. So I didn't know what to do. But around this time, I mean, pretty much for my whole life, I wouldn't say I was really into ghosts or anything, or I didn't have any particular fascination with them. But I had a friend that worked next door at this little shoe shop, and he was um, he was definitely what you would call a spiritualist. You know, he was a good friend
Yeah.
of mine. He was really, really into that kind of stuff and really spiritually minded. So the only thing I could think to do, I'm like, I just have to run over there and get him because I need answers. I have no idea what's going on. So I ran over there as fast as I could and I said, hey, man, you have got to get in the stock room over at Life is Good right now. And I didn't tell him or explain to him why. Um, but he ran with me. He walked in and he immediately stopped. And he got like chills all over his arm. And he showed me his arm and his hair was standing up. And
Oh wow.
yeah, and he said, there's something here. And I was like, no way. Like, no way you can be feeling that too. You know what I mean? Because like I said, he
Yeah.
had no idea why I brought him in there. He followed me. And that was that. And that's pretty much my story.
Yeah, and like you said, you didn't tell him what was going on. You just brought him in there, and he knew instantly
Yeah.
that something was going on.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, I've seen some, pretty scary stuff doing paranormal investigations, but to see a full body apparition like that just walking into a door, I
Mhm.
mean, that's something to see. A lot of people don't see that.
Yeah, and I agree. You know, a lot of people they see orbs or they'll see a figure at the corner of their eye. I feel lucky to have seen it. I mean, although it did shake me to my core, I feel lucky to have seen it because not everybody gets to say they see that kind of thing. Um,
Oh yeah,
and like I said, man, I'll take it to my grave. I know what I saw, I know what I heard, and I know what I witnessed with my own two eyes, and nobody can convince me otherwise.
yeah, exactly. And that's like a lot of people that have encounters. You can't tell them any different because they, like you said, you know what you saw, you know what you experienced, and you can take it to your grave. You know exactly what happened.
Hmm.
Uh, and I'm glad you come on here and give us your encounter. Because a lot of people don't want to talk about stuff, when they encounter stuff, because they're scared of repercussions of what people might say. I had a woman on my live last night on TikTok, and she was at the point to where she was crying, telling us her encounter because she was so scared to tell people. That she said people have cut her out of their life
Mm.
for telling that encounter.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, before you had this encounter, did you believe in ghosts, or was you just didn't care, didn't think about it, or what was your position on that?
Well, I was raised very religious. My parents were very religious, so I think I was always kind of, um, I was raised to be spiritually minded, you know,
Yeah.
at least is in the way of like, angels and demons and God and the gospel and whatnot. So, I mean, I was always spiritually minded in that sense, but nothing in particular, you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got you. So, I mean, kind of like me before I had my first paranormal encounter or my first Bigfoot encounter. I didn't give two thoughts about it. I wouldn't say I didn't believe or I did believe. I just never really thought about it
Yeah.
until that happened. Then that's when I got to, thinking, well, there's something to all these people, that had these encounters.
Mhm.
They're not full of crap. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely life changing, and it makes you think a lot more about that kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
that's what really got me into doing the research that I do, and doing the podcast and the lives on TikTok, because so many people have had stuff happen to them, and a lot of them want to talk about it, but they're kind of scared to.
Mhm.
And I like to give people that platform where they can come on and tell their encounter and not have to worry about repercussions from people. But it's definitely life changing.
Yeah.
And it makes you think.
Yeah, I, it's sad to hear that anybody would have to go through repercussions from telling it because, I mean, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do about it? I witnessed it. It happened to me. There's nothing I can do about it, and it was life changing. And Personally, to me, I don't care what people have to say because I know what I saw. And the thing about it, what I tell people is that the scary part almost wasn't really seeing her. The scary part is like everything that comes after that when you realize that you have been um, you have been present for confirmation. You know what I mean? You have been a
Yep.
witness to undisputable confirmation to you personally that there is something after life, that there is something after us once we depart this earth. And that realization is so profound. It's so profound that you know what I mean? It just changes your life. It changes the way that you think about these things. And that's why I think I tend to give a lot of respect to people that talk about their encounters because I know what I saw, so who am I to judge? I don't throw out, firsthand experiences with the bathwater like I used to years ago, because I know this stuff is real. And
Oh yeah.
I wish people could understand that too. I wish that they could live in the knowledge that I have and that other people
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, it gives you reassurance that there is something after this life, you know? So it's something that people really need to think about, when people tells them their encounters, because not everybody's full of crap.
No, no. And, it also makes you really curious about, the truth behind a lot of stories you've heard because there's some crazy stories out there that people have seen. It's like, I think over the phone you and I were talking about Bigfoot a little bit, and it's kind of like what I said to you earlier. It's not every day that somebody gets to see like a full body apparition. So
Yep.
I can imagine how most people probably wouldn't believe me, but the fact that hundreds of thousands of people are claiming to see a Bigfoot out there in the woods, I think just the number alone lends some credibility to that phenomenon.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. And like I was telling you last time, I'm doing a series of videos on Bigfoot evidence, and I just done one not too long ago on eyewitness encounters as evidence to Bigfoot's existence. So, like you said, hundreds of thousands of encounters. Not everybody's lying, and you go throughout history. You go back thousands of years. There's cave drawings of these creatures. The Native American culture alone is full of Bigfoot encounters and them dealing with Bigfoot. So not only encounters you have now, but all throughout history. I mean, you're talking about millions of eyewitness reports of this creature, and a lot of people reporting similarities in their encounters. And that's like, there's a divide in the Bigfoot world. You've got the people that think it's just a flesh and blood creature like a giant ape in the woods, and you got people that believe there's paranormal aspects to Bigfoot. I'm on the paranormal side because I've heard thousands of encounters. I've had people tell me their encounters for the last 10, 15 years. So I've heard a lot of the paranormal stuff that goes along with their encounters, like the orbs. A lot of people report orbs when they see a Bigfoot. A lot of people report cloaking. And I actually had a guy that said he had not a tunnel, a portal open up beside him, and
Wow.
Bigfoot stepped out of it. And this guy, I
Wow.
don't think he was full of crap because he sounded very sincere.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a lot of what we call the woo stuff that's reported, and people report that stuff not knowing each other or not ever talking to each other. So you have a guy, say you go back 100 years, you might have somebody in Washington saying that he's seen Bigfoot step out of a portal or it just disappeared like it cloaked.
Mm.
And you take somebody from the East Coast report the exact same thing, and they had no way of knowing each other, speaking to each other. But so many people report the paranormal aspects of Bigfoot when they have their encounter. You can't deny it. Because my feeling is if it's a giant ape in the woods, we'd have them in zoos by now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think at the very least, I mean, I would certainly tend to lean towards your belief. I think anything's possible, man, after what I've seen. And I think it's possible that Bigfoot is a spiritual phenomenon in some way, shape, or form. And at the very least, even if he is flesh and blood creature. He's obviously highly intelligent.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and him and his tribe obviously have culture, and they
definitely,
have ritual, so to speak. Um,
definitely.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past any intelligent creature to know how to stay away from humans.
Yeah, yeah, and I believe they are flesh and blood with the paranormal aspect to them. I
Hmm.
think they're just like us, but it's just like people. You've got uh people that can do a lot of strange things because of black magic stuff like that, voodoo, hoodoo, whatever.
Hmm.
Just look at the shamans in the Native American culture, skinwalkers, what they can do. So, like I said, I do believe that Bigfoot are flesh and blood with that paranormal aspect, and they're able to do a lot of stuff that we can't. And I think they're very intelligent, way more intelligent than us because they know how to stay away from us.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I do have one buddy. I forgot about him when we were talking the other day, but I do have one buddy that has seen a Bigfoot when he was about 12 or 13, and he's convinced. You know, he's absolutely convinced of what he saw, and I believe him.
oh
You know.
yeah, well, like with your paranormal encounter. I mean, once you see it, there's no denying it, and nobody's going to make you deny it because you know what you've seen, just like your buddy. He knows what he's seen. Like my encounters that I've had, I know what I've seen. I know what I've experienced. I've only seen one Bigfoot, and I seen the back side of it run into the woods after it threw rocks at me and a friend of mine.
Wow.
But I got bluff charged at my house, and you can't tell me that wasn't a Bigfoot because you could tell it was 2 feet stomping the ground. It was so heavy you could feel the vibration in the ground, and it was snapping limbs. It cut a trail through my woods that you could drive a vehicle through.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, I never seen it, but I know what it was. You can't tell me no different. But yeah, man, look, I appreciate you coming on, sharing your encounter with us. Um, and telling us about your buddies encounter seeing Bigfoot. Um, but yeah, if you get a chance on my TikTok, check it out. I tell about my encounters, and I've got the videos of Bigfoot evidence. Check it
Hmm.
out. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I sure will, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
All right. Thanks a lot, dude.
All right. Have a good one.